I've said some pretty controversial things throughout this particular series. I've doled out some fairly harsh criticisms. Okay, some very harsh criticisms, but the thing that I've loved observing the most throughout this whole bizarre odyssey is, believe it or not, the comments. Part of the reason I even decided to tackle this subject was because I wanted to hear what other Weezer fans out there thought about the various and dramatically shifting stages in their evolution. And so far, you guys have not disappointed. I've read some very well-established arguments, both for and against the points I've made, and many of you guys have done an excellent job eloquently and insightfully explaining your opinions. Sure, there have been plenty of trolls, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. You'd be surprised how quickly you get used to that shit. Plus, it's not like I've been 100% right all of the time either.
I might as well enjoy my life and watch this.
Holy shit, sorry guys.
But regardless, many of you have come up with very solid counterpoints. When I slammed make-believe, you valiantly contended it. When I spat venom all over the greatest man that ever lived, you defended it. Through every contentious opinion I've expressed, there's been someone somewhere ready to step forward and present me with intelligent and thoughtful discourse and well thought out insight as to why they feel the way they feel.
Ain't nobody defending this shit though, huh?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still sticking to my standards here. All musical taste is subjective, and if you like this album, good on you. Seriously, I wholeheartedly look forward to reading some of the reasonable defenses for this album.
But personally, I think this album sucks harder than Andy Dick after another failed audition.
I mean, wow, people, just fucking wow! This is by far the most difficult script I've ever had to write. Make Believe was difficult because I was slamming an album that, let's face it, does have a lot of defenders. Red Album was difficult primarily because it's so lopsided, it's hard to tell whether it's brilliant or that.
But this? Wow, was it hard to find good things to say about this album. Oh, I mean, it's not without its moments. It really isn't. But, my God, are they few and far between.
Almost everything about this album is wrong. The instrumentation, the lyrics, the tones, the themes, fucking everything. And to be fair, I'm not the only motherfucker who thinks this way. It's the second worst reviewed album of their entire discography, just under...
See, I told you it sucked!
This was the point where most people jumped right off the Weezer boat. I have met very few defenders of this thing, and a lot of people have been begging me to critically eviscerate this dopey piece of insulting, lazy, misguided schlock.
And I hope not to disappoint. Look, to each his own and everything else. But guys, me personally, this album, it's just so wretched that it pisses me off. Every single track on this album pisses me off in some way. Even the good ones. Even the tracks that are somewhat redeemable, there's something I can find about them that just pisses me off till I'm blue in the face. Oh, I wish. So this is just your last warning, okay? Like, shit is about to get ugly.
I will give the band a bit of credit right from the get-go. From what I've read, it sounds like, yet again, they actually realized some of the problems with their previous album and took proactive steps to help rectify those issues. My biggest problem with the Red Album was the lyrics.
I'm sorry, I just really love that clip.
I mean, they almost reached Kesha levels of stupid. They were so bad, they actually distracted from music that, for the most part, was pretty good. And this is coming from a guy who just gave a 4-star review to Baby Metal, so I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to lyrics, I think. The Red Album didn't sell as well as their previous efforts, and it looks like they wanted to try a whole new approach to songwriting in order to help revitalize their sound. That approach, however, turned out to be
Professional Songwriters.
You know, I'm not actually against that idea.
kiss with a fist is better than love.
Hell, pro songwriters can actually bring in new ideas and concepts that can help elevate a song. Bernie Taupin has written most of Elton John's best work, Michael Jackson used them prominently throughout his career, and many artists have had success when bringing in other people to help write the material. It's not something you see much in rock. Rockers tend to prefer their music to be a direct extension of the artists themselves, for obvious reasons, but there have been a few rockers out there that have used them to good effect. I mean, who the hell doesn't love I Don't Want to Miss a Thing?
Wait, stop! No, I already see some of you guys reaching for that back button. Just hang on, let me explain myself. Is that song one of the greatest ever written? Hell no. Is it cheesy as fuck? Was it overplayed? Oh dear God, yes. Is it kind of disquieting to think that a lot of our younger siblings were probably conceived to it? Yeah, I prefer not to think about it either. But... I mean, no, when I hear a band isn't going to have full creative control over their album, yeah, I don't like the sound of it either, but I'm just trying to say it's not always the worst idea in the world. I'm trying to give the band the benefit of the doubt here.
Plus, the Weezer guys still actively contribute to every song, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue, right? I mean, if they got the right people in there, they could probably produce some pretty interesting stuff. The problem is, though...
Nearly everyone they hired was a jack-off!
Okay, to be fair, even on the songs that do feature pro writers, Rivers is still listed as a co-writer. In some cases, it's hard to determine how much actual input the pro may have had. But regardless, there are some people here who so should not be writing songs for this band.
Oh, yes. Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy night.
Well, we may as well start at the beginning. With parentheses, if you're wondering if I want you to, parentheses, I want you to.
Yeah. Remember that trend from around the mid to late 2000s of obnoxiously long song titles in rock? Yeah, thank God that never caught on. Ugh. Deja Entendu by Brand New is one of my favorite albums of all time, but God help me if I could actually name a track from it.
This song was co-written with Butch Walker, a prominent producer in the pop and rock world who is also an accomplished musician, playing lead guitar in a metal band and fronting pop rock trio Marvelous 3. I've heard some of this Marvelous 3 stuff. It's not bad for late 90s alt-rock. It doesn't seem like it would be a bad choice on paper. He's produced such albums as... well, he's also... And oh God, really?
I might have spoken a bit too soon.
But, all things aside, I actually think this is probably one of the best songs on the album.
You'll soon see how small of a compliment that actually is.
I mean, it does have a good bounce to it, that acoustic guitar is nice and punchy, and some of the vocal harmonies do sync up pretty well. It has a nice early 60s pop feel to it, perhaps even an almost swing dancing kind of vibe. I could easily see this as the soundtrack to somebody accidentally throwing their girlfriend's best friend into an orchestra pit.
True story, by the way. Don't take me swing dancing, I guess. I might kill you.
I will say that this song has two big problems. For one, it's repetitive as fuck. The basic guitar part and bass line barely ever change. So if you don't like the song from the opening, trust me, it won't get any better as it moves on. I mean, it's not terrible, but for a melody written with the help of a professional songwriter, it sure as hell could be better.
Oh, and remember all those things I said about lyrics earlier?
Yeah, the Red Album came close to Kesha's level. Raditude makes Kesha look like Leonard fucking Cohen.
To be fair, I do hate that game too.
Our controls and graphics are awful on purpose. Aren't we ironic and witty and clever?
No, asshole! I want my $10 back! just think of the best love stories of all time, the absolute best ones. Bogart and Bergman in Casablanca, Hawke and Delpy in the Before series, John Cusack holding that boombox over his head and Say Anything. Burn them all, bury them in shit, forget they ever existed. Because Rivers Cuomo took this girl to best.
But like Heart Songs and even Greatest Man That Ever Lived,
Finally got that right.
it might not be fair to judge the lyrics. This is a song about how Rivers first met the woman who would eventually become his wife, and given what I've seen of the man,
Hey, how are the gigs there? Here, I mean.
The gig's here.
Yes.
yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who would take a girl to Best Buy on a first date. They are terribly distracting though, and they do lessen the song. And unlike most of the tracks on the Red album, this one doesn't quite have the same musical chops to help make up for that. But if you can see past all that, I guess there's an okay song here. I mean, it's certainly not the worst thing I've ever heard them record, and if the rest of the album sounded like this, I wouldn't be all that disappointed.
It doesn't. It gets worse. Much worse. And that's what pisses me off about this track. It sets up a false impression for how the album's gonna sound. This was also the first single off of the album, and none of the other tracks actually sound like this. This track makes it seem like the album is almost gonna be tolerable. Spoiler alert, it's not.
The next song on the album is called I'm Your Daddy. Okay, and it comes to us co-written by noted producer Dr. Luke, who's also had several production accomplishments, including, really? Oh, for fuck's sake, come on! Who?
Kill it! Kill it with fire!
Okay, no joke, this guy's production credits read like my own personal nightmare journal. You know you're in for a really bad ride when the best thing this guy has written was Boats and Hoes.
I'll do you in the bottom while you're drinking sangria.
And this guy is writing a song for Weezer. Fuck, let's hear it. Lazy ass drum machine. Why am I not even surprised?
Yep. For most of this song, the percussion is done through what sounds like one of the pre-packaged samples from an old Yamaha RX-5. There are actual drums that come in for the chorus and bridge, but they feel a little off, don't they? They lack a certain punch. For a song with this tempo, they could definitely be more forceful, but they just don't seem to gel with the rest of the instruments, do they?
And there's a reason for that too, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I mean, apart from the percussion, the instrumentation in this song is pretty okay, actually.
Well, except for this part at the end of the bridge. I think the song was just hijacked by a Sega Genesis.
Nah, what kills this song for me is ultimately the lyrics. They're not even really the most awful I've ever heard. I mean, it's just kind of your bog standard, "Wow, girl, you're hot" kind of song. Certainly not unexplained territory in this genre, sure. But the thing is, it's all just kind of standard until you hear the chorus.
Okay, I might be reading too much into that, but I certainly wasn't the only one getting creeped out by it. Also, Rivers has said that he wrote these particular lines about his sick daughter. But the song isn't about his sick daughter, it's about picking up some random girl at a club.
If Rivers Cuomo came up to me at a club and told me he was my daddy, yeah, that would freak me out.
I would like to give a demonstration of what it is I do. I'll take you out to dinner at Palermo's. We'll split a cheese fondue.
to sit in a high chair, do I?
By the time we get to the bridge, the song just completely falls apart.
I will wait for Goomba if you're tired.
Okay, I did as much research as I could on this, and this is the closest thing I could find to a definition. To ape, in this sense, means to copy someone, but in a clumsy or an inept manner, and Goomba is actually a derogatory term for an Italian person. So if you get tired, Rivers will do a bad Mario impression?
Oh, that's a bullshit. Fuck you, Rivers Cuomo. What Mario ever do to you, eh? Here, Mario's got an impression for you. Hang on. Ho, I'm a Rivers Cuomo. I'm a nebbishy prick who writes lyrics as well as the Princess Peach puts out. For real, you can suck on my big and red white mushroom. Mario's got no time for this. Mario's got to try to sell more Wii U's before Miyamoto beats him with the hose again.
Well, that happened. So yeah, this track doesn't work for me either. And it pisses me off because with a bit more polish, it actually could have been a pretty decent track. But between that lazy-ass beat and those gibbering, sort of creepy lyrics, no, I'll pass. Seriously, 2 people wrote this song and Ape the Goomba was the best thing you could come up with?
Yeah, here's the weird thing though. I'm Your Daddy isn't even the worst, hey girl, you so fine, you blow my mind song on the album. The Girl Got Hot is way worse. Again, it's a song written by 2 people, and again, for some reason, it sounds like those 2 people wrote it while sticking coat hangers in each other's ears.
I knew this girl back in junior high school when nobody gave her a look. But look at what we got. The girl got hot, switched up and wrote the book.
Okay, so the plot of this song is pretty straightforward. If you've watched any romantic comedy in the 80s or 90s, you've heard this one before. But wait a minute, let's back up a bit. You knew this girl in junior high school? Junior high school?
Come on, dude, we all looked goofy in junior high. If we judged everybody based on how they looked in junior high school...
First thing I did when I got up the nerve was say, hey baby, what's up? She kept on dancing, refused my romancing, and that's when I fell in love.
I get it now. This song is written from the perspective of Pepe Le Pew.
You are the corned beef to me. I am the cabbage to you.
I stepped to the floor with the best friend Jill and tried to think in the plot.
Look, I get it. She's hot. But if you are going to approach her, I would restrain my plot from thickening. Just common courtesy, you know?
The thing I finally found with these other girls in town, she got hot and they did not.
Was Jill within earshot when you said that, buddy? Because I'm sure she didn't appreciate it. What about all the other girls at this little shindig? Did they happen to catch that? Jeez, what a jerk. I'm just saying, when that music stops, this guy is getting the handbag clubbing of a lifetime.
The lyrics aren't even the worst part of this particular track, even though, yeah, they're pretty fucked. The music is what brings this song down. The guitar work is just run-of-the-mill power chord progressions, and that solo... Yawn. Also, the drumming again kneecaps the pace of the track.
Yeah, the drumming. Okay, here's the deal with that.
Apparently Patrick Wilson wanted to do more guitar work on this album. For whatever reason, I guess the Red Album must have given him a bloodlust for scale progressions. So in several of the songs, including this one and I'm Your Daddy, Wilson is actually playing the guitar, and he isn't behind the kit. So if Wilson wanted to play guitar on the album, why didn't he just record drums over his guitar parts, you ask? Fuck if I know! But for some reason, he didn't want to do it. So for all the songs where Patrick couldn't be asked to do his fucking job, they hired noted session drummer Josh Freese to fill in for him.
Now, Freese is a very talented drummer with some pretty good accomplishments under his belt. He's a talented guy. I like a lot of his stuff. It's just that here, he's just not a very good fit.
Most of the tracks he's in, like this one for example, lack the punch and excitement needed to carry the song. I'm not exactly sure why that is either. Like I said, I love a lot of his other work. Listen to Survivalism or Judith. Now that's Josh Freese. Here?
And that's what pisses me off about this song. It's another one that could have been pretty decent if it had more oomph and chutzpah. And also because, girl, you don't need no man.
Now up to this point, the album has been pretty hit or miss, to say the least. Some good, some bad, nothing particularly dreadful. We could still salvage this album. All we need is just one good song, one really great track to help break us out of this funk we're in.
What we get instead is Can't Stop Partying. And I say this with zero hyperbole, worst thing Weezer has ever fucking done.
What about Beverly Hills?
I hear some of you saying,
Didn't you say that one was the worst one ever in all time?
I said that one was probably the worst.
Probably the worst they've ever recorded.
Don't get me wrong, in my book, it's a damn close second. But here's the thing, at least from a certain perspective, Beverly Hills can be defended. God, I feel dirty saying that. But no, many people have made terrific cases for it in the Make Believe episode, and I can see how, yeah, in fact, it could be interpreted as having a positive message, and it could make a genuine connection with people, okay? As much as I hate the song, yes, I can even admit that.
Can't Stop Partying, though? Ha! Ha ha ha! You can't defend it. I'm sure some of you will, but I don't see how. It's not just a song that's so bad it shouldn't be on a Weezer album. It's so bad, it shouldn't exist at all. Period. No, fucking exclamation point.
The first big alarm bell is that it was written by Jermaine Dupri, a sort of popular hip-hop artist out of Atlanta. Now, I've certainly got nothing against hip-hop, but I'll admit it isn't exactly my forte. I listened to some of Dupri's stuff while researching this, and yeah, I wasn't impressed. Most of what I heard was just your run-of-the-mill, swaggering, self-congratulatory, over-materialistic wank around. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a player hater. Good songs can be written about that topic, and that idea certainly has its place in hip-hop. The only problem here is...
What the fuck is it doing in a Weezer song?
Seriously, if you thought those weird, boasty, braggadocious moments in the Red Album were off-putting... Woo! Just you wait!
One day to someday I hit all the clubs. Nobody knows me when I pull up.
Rivers, that shit didn't work in Greatest Man Who Ever Lived. It really doesn't work here. Wait, did I say greatest? Oh, god damn it!
I gotta have Patron, I gotta have the beat, I gotta have a lot of pretty girls around me. I
Guys, remember In the Garage?
You know, that charming, wonderful little jam about playing your guitar and writing goofy little songs, about the simple joys of being a nerdy kid, reading comic books, and playing Dungeons and Dragons, about having so much fun doing all those things that you didn't even care who might have judged you for it. Sure, maybe it made you a bit of an oddball, but you loved every minute of it, and you did it because you liked it, not because it was cool or you cared what anyone else may have thought. You just did it because that was you, and you liked it. And that was okay. Do you remember that song?
Well, fuck you, nerd! Weezer in the club! Dungeons and Dragons? More like virgins and nerd! We're in the club! We gotta have that car, gotta have that juice, and bitches! Bitches and bitches and bitches and bitches and bitches and bitches! Nothing speaks to the sensitive and heartfelt lyrics of Weezer. Latin bitty bitches! Come
Yeah, shake it, bitch. Patrick Wilson gets all the bitches.
Oh no, how did it end up in here? Someone please help me out, it's cold, it smells funny.
Just follow the smoke, they're bringing bottles of the goose, and all the girls in the corner getting loose. Screw rehab, I love my addiction.
Okay. Anyone remember Say It Ain't So?
The achingly painful and deeply personal song about the damage alcoholism was having on River's family. That song about the fear of what further damage the bottle might do to his father, his stepfather, and even himself.
Well, get fucked, dork me! Come Weezer and come! Woo! I got a big old Weezer dick! And a big old Weezer dick needs a big old Weezer pill cup! Woo! Bow now, bow! I'll get turned up! Pill cup! Pill cup! Pill cup! Pill! Do you see why this song might not work?
And just to add the cherry on top, just to seal the deal on this being the worst goddamn thing Weezer has ever made, here's Lil Wayne.
Okay, bitches, Weezer and it's Wheezy.
Kill me.
Gotta stop mixing alcohol with pharmaceuticals.
Don't make me get the pimp cup again. Guys, did you seriously ever think you would hear shit like this on a Weezer album? A Weezer album? I mean, I'm not even against the whole idea of hip-hop mixing with Weezer, but think of all the other artists who could have done this so much better. You know, guys like Mos Def, De La Soul, Talib Kweli. Jurassic 5 had just broken up. You could have got some of the MCs from that group. Almost anybody else would have been a better choice than Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, seriously. Oh, God. I'm just glad he's never put out any rock albums. Am I right? I mean, oh, God. Could you imagine that? You know, Lil Wayne picking up a guitar and just mumbling some bullshit about, I don't know what the hell would Lil Wayne write about anyway. I think that'll... Hey, whoa. I'm over here. Yo. What the hell were you looking at anyway?
For fuck's sake, these lyrics sound like they were written by a drunk person. Probably because they were written by a drunk person! It also doesn't help that everyone sounds like they're half asleep, Rivers sounds bored out of his mind, and Lil Wayne sounds like he's about to pass out. Wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
But hell, put aside the god-awful lyrics, and this is still a horrible track.
It just confuses the hell out of me. Was Weezer trying to make some kind of dance club track? Well, with a pace this slow and boring, you can't dance to it. And the instrumentation is so lazy and unimaginative, it doesn't work as a rock track either. Seriously, the guitar consists of 3 or 4 barely audible power chords buried somewhere underneath Casio's default dance mix number 3 setting. The bass goes absolutely nowhere, and that drum machine.
Monday to Sunday, I hit all the clubs.
seriously, was Patrick Wilson going through a trial separation with his drum kit or something?
Do your fucking job, man!
This song was obviously intended to be a big, pulsing, rip-roaring party anthem. Woo, yeah! But really, it just comes off like it's being sung by that one pathetic, lonely bastard who's still hanging out outside the club, even though it's like 6 a.m.
Woo! Can't stop partying, bro! Woo!
Everyone else did. 4 hours ago. Go home.
They did it, though. They did it. Worst song of their entire career, right there. This song pisses me off because...
Okay, bitches, Weezer and it's Weezy.
Do I even have to explain? Jesus Christ and sexy rollerblades, what could possibly be next?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, this is actually pretty solid. No, really, it's catchy, it's well arranged, the instrumentation is pretty solid, the guitars are colorful, the bass fleshes out the melodies well, and even the drumming is nice.
Who'd have thunk having Weezer's drummer actually playing drums would have been a good idea?
But something still sounds off about this song. Not necessarily bad, just off. I can't quite put my finger on it. I mean, it's well constructed, there isn't anything inherently wrong with it, but it doesn't really sound like a Weezer track, does it? It doesn't have that Weezer style or personality to it. It sounds a bit pop-punkier than what we're used to, don't you think? Hell, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this song was written by the All-American Reject. Wait. What?
Okay. Now I gotta talk about the All-American Rejects now. Yeah. Wow, does this album go to some weird places, guys? Ugh.
So, yeah, All-American Rejects. I'm okay with them, I guess. I wouldn't put them on my
Best summer vacation ever with my BFF homegirls for life, except that dumb slut Rosie OMG LOL.
But they've had some pretty solid stuff. It's certainly good as far as power pop goes, and Tyson Ritter definitely has some pipes. I mean, if they had to pick a pop rock band from that era to write a song for them, they could have done much worse.
But just analyze the situation critically. The All-American Rejects are writing songs for Weezer. I mean, no disrespect to AAR, but given the pedigrees at work, shouldn't this be the other way around?
It's an okay track. It's certainly a diamond in this Vesuvius-sized mountain of jagged earth that used to be a rough, but even this song pisses me off because I just can't help but think it would sound better as a Rejects song. I mean, listen to that falsetto there.
Yeah, it's clear.
This is an AAR song, plain and simple. How that got on a Weezer album, though, is absolutely beyond me. They basically just took a B-side from another band and turned it into a full-on album track. It's enjoyable, but it feels kind of dishonest. I bought this album thinking I'd hear Weezer, not a cover version of a song that was never even written. But if you can see past all of that, then I totally understand. This actually is a pretty decent song, regardless of who's singing it. That All-American Rejects thing just doesn't sit well with me for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a grumpy Gus. Maybe.
What's next? Ow! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that vocal delivery in the verses can just fuck right off. And I hear tepid drumming again, so Josh Freese must be back.
Again, I hate to knock the guy. He's a good drummer. But he just sounds like he has no idea what he's doing on this album. Possibly because he had no idea what he was doing on this album.
Combine the off-key singing with the concentrated stupidity of the lyrics, and this song makes Rivers literally sound drunk.
I told you that you would put on some weight. You went out with somebody named Ken Green.
zero goddamn sense. I've heard Coheed and Cambria tracks that were more lucid than this. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I already used that joke, didn't I?
Didn't think I'd have to use that one again, but here we are.
I will say one positive thing, though. This is probably one of the few places on the album where Wilson's extra guitar work is actually noticeable. That solo is pretty cool, I'll admit. I just wish it was attached to a much better song.
Yeah, this song pisses me off because... Ow! Jesus! God! Because that! This album is just wave after wave of bullshit. There's just... It's not gonna get any better, is it? It's not. Abandon all hope, ye who press play on thine iPod. It's just... There is no hope. There is nothing that can possibly save. What is this?
Wow, this is good. This is really good. Genuinely good. Really, the sitar is a lovely touch. Wilson is behind the drums again, and they sound excellent. Rivers' singing is earnest and on point, and the lyrics don't sound like they were written by someone cruising the Xbox Live forums. Or the PlayStation forums, whatever floats your boat. Jesus, goddamn console wars. They're simple, sure, but they work well with the tone of the song. This is what I was actually hoping this album would be. Something reminiscent of the old Weezer sound we knew with a fresh twist on the delivery. Amita Sen's Hindi vocals add a terrific flavor to the song, and every aspect of the track is well accentuated. Everything fits, everything feels right. I can actually tell that effort went into this tune, actual hard work.
Effort! Sweet, life-giving, nourishing, delicious effort!
Apparently, Weezer wrote this song sometime in 2005, but didn't actually record it until Raditude. They aren't even the first artists to record this song, technically. They sold a demo of the track to Sugar Ray, and they released their version 3 months prior to Raditude, on their album, Music for Cougars.
It's Sugar Ray. What the hell else was I expecting?
But here's the thing, even their version isn't half bad. When you've written a song that even Sugar Ray can't fuck up, you did good. You did good.
Written in 2005? Why is that ringing a bell for me? Hang on a sec. Let me do some research here. Okay. Interesting. Apparently this song was written in 2005, along with a collection of other songs called the Fallen Soldier tracks. These were songs that were originally written, and in some cases actually recorded for the album. This song pisses me off because this is what make-believe should have sounded like.
I mean, when Weezer actually tries, they usually sound pretty damn good. Why can't they just try more? That's all I really want. Just care. Care!
But, you know what? To hell with it. To hell with all of that. Because this is a good song. A genuinely good, untainted song. Oh, God. We finally got one good song in there. Oh, I thought we were never going to get there. I mean, oh, wow. Oh, I needed that. Oh, after all that shit, just, oh, I needed that. I really did. What's next?
Well, one positive thing I can say is that this song isn't worse than Can't Stop Partying.
That sure as hell ain't saying much, though, is it?
There's actually some passable lead work in places. I think I should make this clear. I'm not necessarily against Patrick Wilson playing guitar if he wants to. He does have some noticeable chops, but to sacrifice his drumming for it, what the hell? Freese is on drums again, and again, the drums are bland and uninteresting.
Guys, I feel so bad criticizing him like this. I really do. Has he gone on to do anything else? Okay, so at least he's doing good for himself. We can take comfort in that.
And before you even ask, yeah, the lyrics suck too. A big one. Let's just say they need work. Work. Yeah, see this repeating word at the end of the line thing? I wouldn't have a problem with it, but there's no consistency. He does it twice for these lines, then repeats why 3 times when he clearly doesn't need to. God, this sounds like a fucking first draft. I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan out there, but I can definitely say this is one of his better tracks. I really enjoy it. In that song, he raps about having to survive in a dangerous environment surrounded by drugs, thugs, and paraphernalia. Exactly. Getting wrongfully profiled and harassed by police, and even losing his first child after a stillborn delivery. It's really tragic and painful, and it can be a difficult listen.
Rivers and Dupree, on the other hand...
Yeah, they compare this Jay-Z masterpiece to being stuck in traffic, having a dick for a boss, and having your girlfriend cold shoulder you. Okay, the recession is in there too, but still, fucking really? H to the Izzo totally wins this round. Compare his use of that particular word here to his use of the same word in Buddy Holly.
What's with these homies dissing my girl? Why do they got a front?
And weep.
180 proof vitamin water, energy flavor, take us to your daughter.
Okay, I did some research here. They actually do make an energy flavor of vitamin water, but 180 proof? Fuck no, that's close to a lethal dose. Pretty much the only thing you can buy at that proof is fucking Everclear. No, Everclear. Not, oh god, really? Who in the depths of Margaret Thatcher's pussy let this jagoff write 2 songs for them? I'm not an expert by any means, but these are shitty even on hip-hop standards. Just because someone wrote lyrics for you doesn't mean you can't rewrite them or rework them so that they actually fit into the structure of the song. Hell, what you should have done was re-gifted them to someone with less dignity and self-awareness like Jason Derulo or Flo Rida or, I don't know, anyone else. This should not be in a Weezer song.
This song pisses me off because Jermaine Dupri got to write 2 songs for Weezer, but the All-American Rejects only got to write 1. You know what? I take back everything I said about Put Me Back Together. Sure, it's not a Weezer song, but at least it's fucking competent!
Can we get some redemption by the second to last track in the mall? Well, judging by the fact that most other Weezer fans consider this one to be the worst song on the album, I don't think we have much to look forward to.
Really? After Can't Stop Partying, this is the worst?
I mean, listen to that music, guys. It's so boring. It's all power chords and sloggy-ass tempos. And Freese isn't behind the kid on this one, so I have no idea why it sounds like crap here. Again, though, it's not even the music that seals the deal here. It's the never-ending story of stupid in these lyrics.
First we smoke, then have a smoke.
First we smoke, then have a smoke? Was this written by Patty and Selma?
I didn't do it.
mother please report to the front desk? He's pooped into one of the Build-A-Bears and he refuses to put his pants on.
YOLO! Yeah, while I wouldn't say this is the nadir of their catalog, I can still see where you guys are coming from on that. Fun fact, this is one of the only songs in Weezer's catalog, apart from Automatic, that has Patrick Wilson credited as the sole writer. He co-wrote two of the best Weezer songs ever composed, but when left to his own devices, this is what we get.
I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I don't think I've given Rivers Cuomo enough credit. This song pisses me off because apparently Patrick Wilson was huffing more nitrous oxide during this album than Frank fucking Booth!
You know what a love letter is? It's a bullet from a fucking gun, fucker! You receive a love letter from me, you're fucked forever!
No, fuck it. Fuck it, I'm done. No, I don't care. I don't care. Fuck it. I'm done with this. No, fuck it. Fuck it, I don't care. It's not gonna save this album, no matter what it is. It's not. I don't care. Wait, what's it called? Oh, gee. Let me guess, it's another slow, plodding, completely lifeless ballad.
Maybe you freaked out. Maybe I just have to.
Nailed it!
No one likes too much attention from a desperate fool.
Oh, really? Guys, I have nothing to say about this song. Really, I don't. The instrumentation is boring, and Rivers sounds like he's about to fall asleep. This song pisses me off because I can't even end my review with a big bang now. This song just kind of disappears. Fuck, even the Red album was kind enough to end us on a big note. A pretty damn solid big note nonetheless. This album, it just evaporates. It dissolves. Like an Alka-Seltzer tablet, an airborne capsule, or my last 3 relationships. It just, poof, fades away.
Well, why not review the 4 extra tracks that come on the special edition?
Oh, fuck off. You want my review of those songs? Okay, here you go.
Get me some? Boring. Run over by a truck? Stupid and boring. Prettiest girl in the whole wide world? Slow and boring. The Underdogs? Okay, only sort of boring, but still!
Okay, well then why not talk about some of the songs that were cut from the album?
No. Actually, you have a point. Okay, let's talk about those really quick.
There were tons of collaborations that were actually cut from the album, including a fairly decent song from former Semisonic frontman Dan Wilson.
But we'll get to that one another day.
A song called Pick You Up, written by Adam Lambert, wait, what? That he eventually just recorded himself.
Again, no disrespect to Adam Lambert, but the pedigrees, just... why this way, this...
There's even an interesting cover of the Partridge Family's I Woke Up in Love This Morning, with the instrumentation performed by Sloan. But that version was only released in Japan, and Sloan go completely uncredited for their work.
When a Partridge Family cover is one of the best things your album has going for it, your album has some pretty big problems. And why leave Sloan uncredited? Sloan kick ass, man. Do you know how much Canadian cred that would have won you guys? Twice Removed is my shit, man.
Supposedly, even Katy Perry wrote a song for the album that never ended up being finished.
Thank fucking God!
Rivers even recorded a cover of Rainbow Connection with Hayley Williams of Paramore during this album's sessions.
Hayley fucking Williams!
And it's absolutely stellar, too! I mean, okay, maybe there were legal issues behind that particular track not getting released, but despite what Kermit actually says in the song, this album could have used a few songs about rainbows.
Well then, why not review the acoustic version of Can't Stop Partying from Rivers' second solo album?
There's an acoustic version of Can't Stop Partying.
Yep.
Acoustic version.
Mm-hmm.
Of Can't Stop Partying.
Oh, yeah. You should check it out.
You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna listen to it right goddamn now, and we're gonna drive the final nail into this goddamn coffin. I swear to God. An acoustic version. Oh, I can't even believe this. Oh, we are gonna pull this bad boy up, and we are going to bring a reckoning to this album. A fucking reckoning, do you hear me? Reckoning! 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 It's beautiful. You're goddamn right I said it.
In this version, the song has been completely retooled to have a much darker, much more somber overtone. Rivers' vocals are strained and desperate sounding. The buzzy synths and obnoxious drum machine beats are replaced with a haunting organ that fills the atmosphere with hopelessness and regret. And without even changing the lyrics, the song takes on a whole new life.
Well, they did cut Lil Wayne's verse. Thank God.
Remember when I jokingly said that the song sounded like it was written by a guy who wouldn't leave the club even though the party was obviously over? Well, this is that version of the song. By altering the mood and tone of the music, it takes on a whole new meaning. It transforms another soulless party anthem into a crushing deconstruction of that very genre itself. You can't stop partying? Well, here are the consequences. It's such a brilliant, soulful, and unique reinterpretation of the song. And again, all without changing the original lyrics. It's downright jaw-dropping. It's genuinely beautiful. It's one of the better things I've ever heard Rivers record.
So why isn't this version of the album? This album is a 5-course meal of dick!
I feel bad even calling this a Weezer album. Weezer barely even shows up on it! The lyrics are written by other people, the drumming is being played by someone else, none of the band sounds like they're having a good time on an album that's ironically centered around partying. Not to mention, it's one of the single laziest albums I've ever heard. The instrumentation is lazy, the lyrics are lazy, the vocal deliveries are lazy. It's an album that was written by several people, yet somehow only sounds half-finished. At its best, it's only dull or bewildering. At its worst, it's downright offensive, insulting to our intelligence, and even creepy. I mean, these lyrics were written by people in their 30s and 40s. Why does it sound worse than the live journal I used to keep in high school? Fuck, for all its numerous and noticeable failings, at least the Red album sounded like actual hard work was put into it.
In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna flat out say it. I was too hard on make-believe!
Yeah, the music on Make Believe is lazy as hell too, but at least it doesn't flat out insult me. At least the words sounded like they had some thought and consideration put into them, like they were coming from a sincerely genuine and earnest place. At least the band is actually writing the songs and playing their own instruments. Hell, there are some good songs on that album. I regret not talking more about them in my original review. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you approach it from a certain mindset, yeah, it can totally be defended and even enjoyed.
The only mindset you can approach this album from is from the kid who used to sniff rubber cement in art class. Hey, fuck you, I never did that!
You know, it's not even the poppier approach that rubs me the wrong way. A poppier Weezer sound could have totally worked. Hell, it could have sounded great, and it could have helped make the band more mainstream and turn them on to a whole new audience.
But if that's the approach you want to take, you have to give it all. You have to completely commit to the idea and give 110%. This is barely 5. And that is the core thing that is wrong with this album. It sounds like they didn't even try. They didn't even try.
And why should they?
What the hell are you still doing here? Get out of my apartment!
Yes, it sounds like they didn't work very hard on this album. But you still bought it, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't have—
Face it, Weezer no longer has to try to make music. People will buy it no matter what they pump out. They've been rewarded with the highest accolades of rockstar status, and they don't even have to care about the quality of their work in order for it to become successful. They have reached the absolute peak of their creative talents and have achieved their ultimate form. Weezer does not care, and Weezer does not need to care. And from this moment on, they never will again.
What? No! You're lying!
Am I? This album was quickly thrown together in a year, and the one after that was the exact same. Weezer will keep producing half-assed, insincere music, and people will still buy it. They'll buy it in droves, and they'll love it, no matter how god-awful it sounds.
That's not true! Weezer isn't like you, creatively bankrupt and cynical. They care about the music they write!
Do they? Think of all the terrible songs you've reviewed thus far. As the albums progress, they only get weaker and weaker. And yet Weezer's popularity and power grows stronger. Their power level continues to rise despite the fact that they aren't even trying. Face it, Mr. Crash Thompson. You're up against a foe you cannot best. The band will continue to give less and less of a fuck, and it will continue to make them stronger. While you sit here and care, it makes you weak.
No!
Give up, Mr. Crash Thompson.
No! No!
Give up your cares. Give up your feelings. Surrender them now, or else we will destroy you.
No! No! I won't change my feelings! It's who I am!
Wait, rocks? Where did all these rocks come from? Okay, this has been fun and all, but I'm gonna need you to take a chill pill from me, okay? Well, that was... Oh my god. Okay, this is officially not funny anymore.
You're goddamn right it isn't. You have no honor. For me and for everyone else you've destroyed, I'm going to finish you.
Okay, seriously, what the hell is going on?
You seem to delight in seeing other people suffer, and you treat your listeners like a disposable commodity. You destroy reputations. You wreck the lives of innocent, peace-loving fans. You even wreck the lives of children. And all of this to simply make a quick profit.
What the hell does Dragon Ball Z have to do with anything?
Well, now it's your turn. I am the hope of the opinionated. I am the answer to all living fans who call out for quality control. I am the protector of the classics. And I am a fan of the darkness. I am a critic! Ally to good taste! Nightmare to you.
What in the hell are you talking about?
And I'm gonna fuck you up right!
Oh, well, that's much more straightforward.
But if you leave this dimension and promise never to return, I'll spare you.
Okay, bye. Wait, this door's locked.
Exactly.
Come in! Gotta get out of here, gotta get out of here!
I'm Crash Thompson, and remember, the only opinion that really matters is your own. I am so not getting my deposit back.